I know I look like shit today, but to be fair, I usually look like shit. At least I shaved for you guys, so let's just talk about the book. It's called Supervolcano Eruption by Harry Turtledove.
This is the introduction song. It's not very good, but it's not too long.
Now, I really like Harry Turtledove normally. He's usually an alternate history author, and his, The Great War trilogy is the best alternate history I've ever read. Like, bar none. It's amazing. And this one is not alternate history, but I thought it sounded neat, and I did like the author, so I decided to check it out. And while it was really good for a while, I just found myself being kinda let down by the end of it. It was focusing on all the wrong things, I guess. But let's dive in. This book, for those of you who know, Yellowstone National Park in the western United States has this giant-ass volcano underneath it. And that's where all the weird geological activity comes from in the park. Like, all the geysers, like Old Faithful and stuff. That is due to the volcano. And the volcano hasn't erupted in, I think, what, 700,000 years? I don't know. You can Google that. I don't feel like doing it right this second. But it's been a long time, and it could actually, in real life, it could erupt tomorrow, or it could erupt 10,000 years from now. I mean, geologists really don't know, but it wouldn't be weird if it went off right now. And this book is basically what would happen if it went off. Sorry, I had to change the lighting. It was getting weird. So we would be fucked with a capital F in this scenario. I mean, several states, including Colorado, where I live, would be buried under several feet of ash, and a whole bunch of people would be killed in the blast itself, or in the earthquakes that the blast would cause. And after that happened, what happens next? Because half the country is covered in ash, and there's a giant-ass hole in the middle of it, so it's difficult to go across. What are you going to do with all the refugees and everything? And this book answers those questions. Like most of the main characters are scattered all across the country, right? The main character is this dude named Colin Ferguson, who is a police officer in Los Angeles, or around Los Angeles. And then most of the other characters are his family. Like, there's his ex-wife, there's his new girlfriend, there's his oldest son who's in a band, his daughter who is just doing things. Like, there's nothing particularly interesting about her before the volcano goes off. And then there's his youngest son, who smokes weed. That's about it, really. Yeah, he annoyed me at first, but he did get better later on, I'll admit. And most of the characters are fine. That's really all I can say about it. Like I said, his youngest son annoyed me, but he got better later on. And his ex-wife was kind of bitchy and stupid throughout, but really nothing that bad. The worst, the character that just got me the most was honestly Colin. Because he was fine at first, you know, because this book spends like a good 200 pages just pulling a Stephen King and letting you get to know the characters, which I was fine with. I really was. I think that made it a lot more impactful when the volcano finally blows. Spoiler alert, the volcano goes off. But yeah, I didn't mind that. I thought getting to know all the characters, their personalities, what they were like, what they were doing, that was fine. And Colin at first was also fine, you know. He went through a nasty divorce. He's getting his life back on track. He's just trying to do his job as a police officer, and he's also getting worried about the volcano. Like, most people don't realize what's going to happen when it goes off, but he does. And it's pretty nice, but where he falls apart to me is all of the weird political commentary he does. Now, I really didn't mind that at first. Like, he just comments on stuff. It's like, oh yeah, here's this and that and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That gives him a little bit of character, and he's not really extreme about anything. But around 3/4 through the book, there's a there's a scene where he realizes that all the states that are totally depopulated are that are like around the volcano, so like Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Utah. Most of those states are super deep red states, and then he's thinking, oh man, if all those states are depopulated, I don't know what that's going to do to American politics, but it's going to be bad. And I'm like, dude, thousands of people are dead, millions more are fleeing their homes, that people are starving to death because huge tracts of farmland and ranch land are just gone, buried under ash. The ash is causing people problems with their health, like it's killing people with asthma, it's giving other people cancer and mesothelioma, and that's what you're fucking worried about? Like at that moment, like, I'm sorry, sorry Colin, you're a cunt, and you really can't redeem yourself from that. I'm sorry. The story is where this book really, really falls apart, though. Because, I mean, like I said, the first, 200 pages is building up to the volcano. Like, we're getting to know the characters, they're explaining the circumstances of the volcano and what'll happen if it blows. And that's fine. I like that. After the volcano erupts, it's great for a while. Like, you're seeing the destruction and the aftermath. That's great. I loved that. But then after things sort of settle down a little bit, and you realize in most of the country, life is just kind of going on semi-normally. Semi-normally, not really normal. But then it just turns into random family drama. Like, oh hey, so-and-so is pregnant. Uh-oh. Oh hey, this guy is doing well in school in a subject he didn't think he'd do. Well, good for him. Hey, this guy has money problems. Well, I don't fucking care. There's a giant-ass volcano that just went off. Like, Yellowstone is gone. There's a pit half a mile deep where the park used to be. Millions of people are stuck in refugee camps, and you're focusing on this random bullshit. I don't care. Why would you do that? I don't get it. Like, Harry Turtledove is a great author. I like his stuff. I read his other stuff. I like it. And normally, how do I put this? Normally he's good at taking huge events and then showing them from different perspectives. Like, the Great War, for example, has a lot of normal life parts where you just see how normal people were dealing with the war, how it was going on. This book, having that would be fine, but all of the characters, almost, are just living normal lives. Like, that is so fucking boring. This is not a family drama, it's fucking Supervolcano Eruption. And I know that there's more books after this. I know that they're probably gonna show some more stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna read them, honestly, because if it's anything like this one where it's just stupid family drama shit, and honestly it's not that poorly written, I don't think. Like, the family drama is fine. Like, if it was just the focus of the book was that, and you gave it to a different author, maybe I might be okay with it. But I didn't want to read that. I wanted to read about fucking post-apocalyptic Nebraska and California falling apart and Texas being covered in ash. Like, that's what I wanted to read about, not this random bullshit. So if you can get past that, then the middle part of the book is really great. But if you can't get past that, then definitely skip this one. It's a great idea, very poor execution, and Harry Turtledove's a great author, but there's really nothing else worthy about this book. If you want to watch a bunch of my shit before a volcano goes off and kills us all, you should subscribe. Or spend your time doing something that's probably better for you and more beneficial for the world as a whole. But I'd prefer if you subscribe.